Hello and welcome to FMIC. My name is Wes, and yes, I'm recording in literally the worst bay at my shop. It's like 5:30 and the sun is right in my eyes, but that's not really what's important. What's important is here today, I'm finally installing this absolute chonker of a intercooler. This is actually Perrin's 13-inch. It's like a hair over 13-inch front mount intercooler. You guys know I've actually been running the I think it's like 9.2-inch intercooler. They're both 3.5-inch cores. Pretty sure if I could just get a measuring tape, which for whatever reason I can't seem to find one around here. And it's not something, again, I talked about this in a previous video about whether you need a front mount or a top mount. And for my purposes, I know that this year I'm going to be doing a lot more racing, and so it makes a lot of sense for me to originally have had the front mount. But I originally got the front mount because it's such a tuner thing to do. It looks really, really cool. And this was going to look even cooler because about a little bit over half of it, or a little bit under half of it, is actually going to be sticking out up here behind the grill, which, you guys know I have that Amuga style grill from JD Muscle, which I still maintain is such a badass looking grill. Installation for this is fairly easy in my case because all I'm doing is really just swapping the intercooler out. But there's a couple of things I actually need to do. I need to actually rotate these up a little bit. Well, maybe not that one, but this side I actually do need to rotate it because I've never been able to fit my Perrin intake box in here. But I think that was my fault, the reason why I can't fit it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try to adjust that, because if you, I'll actually put a clip on screen, which this was from a different video I was trying to do earlier, where I had mentioned that my one of the intercooler tubes was actually scraping up against one of the bolts on the timing cover, and it was making a hole. That was totally my fault. If you actually go back to when I originally installed the front mount intercooler, it was on the dyno day, and we didn't really do a great job of routing everything properly. So it's totally my fault. Today I'm going to fix that, take this off, throw this guy on, and call it a day. Now, tuning is something that I wanted to make sure. I actually talked to Adam here at the shop, and he confirmed, like, I don't really need to go ahead and get a retune for this, especially right now because I'm not really doing a whole lot of crazy stuff. I will be getting a retune eventually because I'm putting on equal length headers from Perrin as well, and fingers crossed I can get a turbo here soon within the next month. I don't know yet if that's going to be possible. I would like a stock location turbo upgrade, so a retune will be coming, and I'm actually going to be doing it here at Ecotech because I have the access to the dyno. So if you're looking for how to take the bumper off, it's actually really easy. I've had that in a couple of other my videos in the past. It's just like, I think 5, 6 or 7 10mm bolts up top in the engine bay. There's like a couple of clips here. There's a bunch of clips on the bottom. You pull it out, it's done. It's pretty simple. I know aligning it back up is a little bit harder, but it just takes a little bit of finagling, and I think you guys will get it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this taken off, reroute, and I'll mock this up, and I need to take the tubing off over here and try to readjust it. So I guess let's get started. So here you can actually see the physical size difference between these two. You can see that as the new one is much, much taller, but they are the same thickness. Wait a minute. I thought they were. I went and got an actual measuring tape. So it just looks like it's bigger. They're actually both 3.5 inches thick. The one that I had originally was about 9.25, and the new one is about 13.25. So 13.25. So it's a substantial bit taller, but the thickness hasn't changed. So now, if you have not installed one of these, I will show you some basic stuff. There's actually already a bracket that gets screwed into the actual chassis, and it comes with these little, oh well, I guess you don't need these anymore. I guess the screw just goes right through. Yeah, the screw goes right through. Before, you actually had these little whatever the hell, I don't even know what the hell to call these. They're just little channels so that the bolt can actually go through it. But this, you don't actually need it. This is just, whoa, that's heavy. You can just line this up. Okay, this is really difficult to see, so I'm using my phone, but I finally got it on. What I ended up having to do, there's one bolt down here and there's two up here, so I had to loosen the one that's on this side so that the bracket could kind of tilt this way a little bit so that the big bolt could actually go into it, which honestly, that's a lot of work for a regular person like me. I'm not knocking the product, but I'm just saying if you're gonna go for this particular model, expect for it to be a little bit on the harder side. That was a little tough for me, but we got through it. It's becoming nighttime. I need to hurry up and get the rest of this mounted. Now there are some adjustments that need to be made on the piping because the piping doesn't exactly fit on this side. So I got to figure out how to make it work. Maybe do that, I don't know. Because now the piping doesn't really, I guess it needs to be deeper. Maybe just make it deeper. Yeah, I think that's the solution. Just make the piping deeper. Okay, that's on. Put this, that pipe's pretty deep. All right, real talk. This looks fucking amazing. It is humongous. I love how it sticks out from behind the grill. Obviously that means it's gonna get more air from the bottom. I know this was always something like a point of contention, that it was kind of like restrictive, but maybe eventually I'll just cut all this out and then have both these areas hit it, but it seems to be fine. I will say this, again, I did this without instructions. I was talking to Jeff the whole time I was doing this. There was definitely a couple of things that I didn't do when I installed my original front mount, and that was actually cutting the tabs off, which you guys probably saw me sawing that off. I didn't do that before, so that actually ended up being an issue now, because back then I also didn't have instructions. I was actually just kind of trying to learn as I go. So this is done. I'm glad that this actually worked out. It is a lot more involved because you do have to angle the brackets a little bit to make it work. It really wasn't that big of a deal. Once I figured out exactly which angle to put it in, I was able to put everything in there and everything was fine. I think that if you're looking for one of these things, you don't really want to get this particular one, probably get a bigger one. What's going on? Video? Yeah, trying. One of my buddies actually showed up to drop his car off for the night because he's got some alternator issues. Anyway, what I was saying was, this is amazing. Most people, and I've said this in my other video as well, most people don't need a front mount. Most people most definitely don't need a front mount this big. Now, obviously it looks cool. Obviously it has that tuner vibe to it, and I mean, it does make everything cooler. But something you have to think about, because if you're gonna spend the money on something that you know you're actually gonna use. Most people, like I said, you can get away with a top mount. But if you want a front mount, I will put the link to all of this stuff in the description down below. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I don't know if this is actually on the website. If it is, I will put the link for this as well. Everything seems to be fine. I actually ran the car earlier. Well, I turned it on and checked all my numbers. Everything's fine. Obviously, I have to drive home and I'll know if something happens. But usually when I tighten my clamps, I tighten them way hard because I don't want anything to pop off. But hopefully this video was informative. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know that I wasn't able to film some bits of it because it was a little harder to do. But what I'll do is I'll actually make a MS Paint diagram to show you guys exactly what that bracket looks like in case you decide to do this. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Before you go, if you like this video or any of my other content, consider subscribing or picking up a YouTube membership from the membership section. Also, you guys know I work at Ecotech here in St. Louis. We do all kinds of repairs and maintenance and performance work, and we also have access to parts, whether you're looking for Perrin, AMS, Cobb, Mishimoto, Grimspeed. I can definitely help you guys. Also, if you're looking for a place to get a dyno tune or a pro tune, you can actually come here to St. Louis because we've got a dyno here. Adam, our in-house tuner, tunes here, and also Graham does remote tuning here as well. So let me know how I can help you. You can either email me at heavymetalrex@gmail.com or just message me on Instagram.